This is a magnificent great room whose renovation has been supported by LVMH. This part of Somerset House was originally designed for the Royal Academy, and from 1780 to 1836, this is where the Academy presented its famous annual summer exhibitions. Before the renovation, the great room had been divided into 4 smaller rooms. This meant that it was impossible to enjoy or be aware of the original proportions and scale of the room. I think many people would have visited the Courtauld Gallery and passed through the great room without ever being aware of having done so. Restoring the building has been a really crucial part of our project. And in the great room, that has been very evident. We have removed all of the internal subdivisions and opened the space up once again for visitors to enjoy the dramatic volume of the space. The great room will showcase our fantastic collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist masterpieces. There'll be a wonderful sequence of 8 paintings by Paul Cézanne, including his card players, Vincent van Gogh's iconic self-portrait with bandaged ear, Edouard Manet's great painting of modern life, A Bar at the Folies Bergère, will have pride of place in the centre of one of the walls behind me. There are 2 great paintings, Tahitian subjects, by Paul Gauguin, which will be part of a group of 5 works by Gauguin presented in the great room. And alongside that, also important paintings by Monet, by Renoir, by Degas, by Toulouse-Lautrec, by Georges Seurat and Modigliani and others. So really a fantastic account of Impressionism and Post-Impressionism at its very best. The LVMH Great Room is just the beginning of the story. We've been able to transform all of the public spaces of the gallery. The Blavatnik fine rooms are enabling us to represent the earlier parts of the collection in a way that has never been possible before. These are beautiful, gorgeously decorated spaces, and they will provide a wonderful setting for an unhurried, uncluttered experience of some of the great masterpieces of the earlier part of the collection. Paintings by Botticelli and Bruegel and Rubens and Goya, for example. And there will also be a much richer account of our decorative arts collection with Gothic ivories, Renaissance ceramics, Islamic metalwork, all integrated into the overall story. We are now in the Katja and Nikolai Tangen 20th Century Gallery. The 20th century is an important and growing part of the collection, and we're going to be using this beautiful space for a program of rotating displays from the 20th century holdings. The opening display in this room will be dedicated to the Austrian expressionist painter Oskar Kokoschka. The centerpiece will be the Prometheus triptych, which he produced in 1950 and considered to be one of his most important paintings. Kokoschka painted the work for the ceiling of the London home of one of the Courtauld's greatest benefactors, Count Antoine Zeilin. It hasn't been shown here in over 15 years, so presenting it in this space is going to be very exciting. In addition to the permanent collection, which will look sensational and which will be very far from static, we will also be presenting a rich program of temporary exhibitions and changing displays. These will chiefly be organized across 3 different spaces: our main temporary exhibition galleries, our dedicated drawings gallery, and our new project space. Each of those program strands will have a different purpose and character. We are now in one of our new temporary exhibition galleries. This is one of the most exciting areas of the whole redevelopment for me personally. These spaces used to be small, dark, narrow, single-height galleries and also staff offices, and their transformation into these beautiful, elegant, light-filled rooms has been very striking. The opening project in the new temporary exhibition galleries will showcase the gift of modern and post-war drawings by the artist Linda Karshan, made in memory of her husband Howard. The gift includes drawings by Cézanne and Kandinsky and Paul Klee, and stretches to Beuys and Cy Twombly and Philip Guston and Georg Baselitz, a really major gift with many wonderful, enthralling works. The Butler Drawings Gallery will be used for temporary exhibitions and will be doing 3 exhibitions a year. The opening project in November is a selection from our wonderful collection of British drawings, and it's called Pen to Brush, British Drawings and Watercolours. The selection starts with a beautiful small drawing by Isaac Oliver from around 1610, and includes some wonderful drawings from the golden age of British watercolour by Turner and others, and then in the 20th century a beautiful shelter drawing by Henry Moore. Welcome to the project space. This is a newly created gallery and we're very excited about its possibilities. Project space is going to be one of the ways in which we connect the public gallery with the Courtauld's role as one of the leading international centres for the teaching and research of the history of art. So we will organise projects here that showcase work that is done across the whole Courtauld Institute of Art. The opening display is going to introduce to our visitors the work of the important British architectural photographer Anthony Kirsting, who gave 42,000 photographs to the Courtauld on his death in 2008. And these are part of a huge digitization project that is underway, funded by the National Lottery. We're going to focus specifically on Kirsting's visits to Kurdistan in 1944 and 1946, where he photographed architectural sites, some of which have since been destroyed, but also took extraordinary portraits and documented everyday life in the region. I'm delighted to announce that we've invited the renowned contemporary artist Cecily Brown to produce a new work which will be shown in the frame behind me on the curved wall at the top of our dramatic 18th century staircase. We chose this location because when Somerset House opened to the public in 1780, it was very richly decorated. And we know that this frame originally housed a painting. And so this commission allows us to reconnect with the history of the building and also to bring contemporary art back into the heart of the gallery in a very purposeful way. We invited Cecily Brown because we love her work and admire her approach. She is very interested in many of the artists who are represented in our collection. And it seemed to us that her work comments on and engages with the theme of the continuity and renewal of the great tradition of painting that is so fully reflected through artists like Rubens and Manet, the Impressionists, and Kokoschka and beyond.